think that's my new trick. So we live in this time of increasing transparency and decreasing trust. Steve asked you, everyone here has their phone, which means as customers, as consumers, and as marketers, you know that every one of you has access to the best of everything, 24/7. Not only do you have every song on the planet, you have the best stories, the best shoes, the best puppies. Whatever it is, you have access to the best of everything, which means that in the engagement economy, people are not going to settle for average. So your job is to start to shift and provide the best experience possible for the people on the receiving end of your messages. We actually at Wunderman call that wantedness, and it lines up exactly right with the engagement economy. So on that note, the idea to think about is people think this way. I want you to want me, and to prove it at every step of the customer journey. Simple, right? Well, I have the great honor of introducing a panel of amazing thought leaders who are going to help us bring this to life. So I'd like you to give them a big warm round of hello. Come on out. Penny Wilson from Hootsuite. Jeff Wright from Autodesk. And Tracy Nalwak from Hakkasan. Woo! Thanks, guys. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'll just say, it's all good. Whatever happens at Marketing Nation stays at Marketing Nation. We'll do it this way. It's all good.
Did I take your seat?
You know what? Doesn't matter. We're going to go this way. How about we just flip it, and I'm going to go over here, and we're all good. Okay. So I'm going to start with, let's do this way. Listen, learn, and inspire to engage. Who better to talk about listen than Penny Wilson from Hootsuite, the best at listening. So Penny, I've heard you for years. I've been such in awe of Penny. She is a thought leader extraordinaire. And I've heard you talk about listening to consumers as developing something that you call social harmony. Can you help us explain why listening is so important?
I would be happy to. Thank you, Jamie. I'm very excited to be here. So as marketers, we are no longer in send mode. We are in receive mode. We live in a world where our customers are always online on any device in any location. And like Steve said, they expect an immediate response. And that sense of real-time response, it isn't a nice to have for an organization anymore. It's a must-have. How many of us expect our package from Amazon to arrive the next day? Or when we order up an Uber or a Lyft, we expect it to be there within 10 minutes. But it's more than just the hyper-connectivity. It's really about that human-to-human connection. And that's why it's so important for marketers to be authentic, to be personal, and to be relevant. You know, like any personal relationship, it really starts with listening. I try to tell my husband that, but... And you know, social provides this really unique opportunity to learn who your customers are and what they want. And you know, it's unlike surveys and focus groups. It's really access to this unstructured data that, when structured, actually provides you the unvarnished truth at scale. And once you know who your customers are and what they want, then you can determine what you should share with them or how to engage with them. And we call it memorable customer moments at Hootsuite. Those opportunities that you have to really shift a perception of a customer or give them something that they want so that they in turn will share it with somebody else. And you know, you can't just go to Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn and just read all your tweets. You'd be like drinking from a fire hose. But there are tools, like Hootsuite's tools, which allow you to really set certain criteria and really evaluate and look at the conversations that are happening and determine what those memorable moments are. And then finally, I think that it's time that you empower your whole organization. It can't be just the job of a social media manager or a social media team to really listen. You really need to give your whole organization the tools, the training, and the content to engage with your customers. And that's why I said that you can have your whole organization, marketing, sales, customer support, product, really work in social harmony with your customers and listen to them and learn from them.
That's a powerful reminder for all of us. And I think what's also interesting is when you take that listening and then you find a way at scale to learn and apply it. So listen, now we're on to learn. So Jeff, I do want to point out that this isn't, other than the fact that you are the only gentleman here, this is a very strong female panel, so thank you, Marketo. Gotta love, woo! Love that, right? Love this. This is so great. You're the smartest man in the room at the moment with 3 women. So Autodesk has quite an interesting mission, and I think this is really fascinating when I was doing research. Your mission is to imagine, design, and create a better world, which I find so inspiring. So how do you, with data, analytics, learn? How do you take what you're learning and how do you apply it to fulfilling that very, very big mission?
Yeah, so our mission is really to help others do exactly that, imagine, design, and create a better world. And we provide tools that help our customers in the manufacturing sectors and building and infrastructure, media and entertainment, do exactly that. And one of the things that I think is becoming increasingly true for our customers is that their data that represents those projects, right, that really fill your lives, are at the center of what they do. It's becoming increasingly their most valuable asset. And that's happening for us too. I think it's probably happening for all of us in our businesses, that the data that represents your customers is becoming among your most valuable assets. For Autodesk, who has over the last few years made this pretty significant change in our business to be a pure SaaS subscription business, it's even more important for us. The distance between us and our customers has to shrink. We have to be more direct. We have to sort of be continuously engaging with them. So to understand them well enough to be effective at that requires understanding them at a level that we didn't before. So data about our customers has become vital. So stitching together the data sources that we can, both internal and external, to create that holistic picture, to give us that understanding so that we can then treat them in a way that is authentic and relevant and helpful to them, is really becoming the center of what we're doing in marketing and other functions at Autodesk.
And people know what's possible. I mean, we have a much smarter consumer base across the board anyway. So when you don't live up to those expectations, it's very disappointing for them on the receiving end. So I look at that and I think, okay, we have Hootsuite, we have Autodesk, and then we have a company, Hakkasan Entertainment Group, that your product is literally inspiration and engagement, and that is no easy trick. I mean, you better know that I like a margarita when I walk in the door, because, and I do, but I think it's important, especially in the hospitality business, it's so competitive. How are you shifting? How are you really tapping into listening, learning, and engaging to deliver a much better experience?
Well, I think it really starts at the organizational level. It's really important for an organization to put the customer at its core being, to be honest with you. Especially us being in the hospitality industry and the entertainment industry, we have millions of customers every year that come through our doors, whether they're nightclubs, restaurants, lounges, day clubs. And if we don't have the customer right at the core of our being, then we're never even going to get to the second place. The second place to me is really kind of moving in and really starting to understand how important it is for us to know even more about that customer. We deal with millennials. We have our group, it's a little challenging. We have over 60 venues globally, and within we have 33 brands. So just within itself, that's kind of a matrix from hell, like as it relates to, oh my God, where do I go? Layer in, almost 1 million millennials, and next thing you're like, okay, what do I do now? But no, it's we do have some challenges, but again, being in the hospitality industry, we have to make sure that we put our customer at the core. So what we've done recently, is partnered with a group called Solomon Solutions, and Solomon has come in, and we really wanted to start to look at the personas of our millennials. Millennials are really, really interesting. Millennials really are they're creatively inspired, they're explorers at heart, and they really want to be influenced. So we really started to look at, instead of just looking at them as a ticket buyer, or let's say a general admission ticket buyer, and reaching out to them once they buy a ticket, they get their e-ticket, and maybe they have a cross-sell banner on that email, is taking it to the next level to really feed into them emotionally. And so what we've done is take something that's very basic, like, okay, you're going to go buy a ticket, but now we need to make it more about feeding that emotion of that millennial. And so what we've done is we've created a campaign. We call it our VIP Wannabe. And while we do have table guests that spend actually quite a lot of money for a table to party next to Calvin Harris as an example, we want to be able to increase that level of service even for a ticket buyer. So what we've done is we've created a program where every single ticket buyer now has an assigned concierge. And through technology, we're leveraging Marketo, the technology, to obviously with the millions of millennials that we have, to communicate on a one-to-one basis as if they have their own personal concierge assistant. So they buy a ticket, they receive a communication from their concierge. The concierge is making the millennial feel incredibly important as it relates to providing additional access, providing a level of service, and really being kind of I don't want to say the man or the woman. When you come to Vegas, Vegas is all about connections, and so it works really, really well for the millennial market.
I like the idea of having a personal concierge for everything. And I guess if you get social listening and you get engagement correct, then you're going to have that. Really quickly, so as we wrap up, love a final thought on value. Steve talked about the new metrics of value. Is this ROI? Is it engagement? How do we evaluate that in this new engagement economy? Real quickly, and then we'll get on with the rest of Marketo's day.
Well, yes, I think you have to look at customer value, business value, brand value, but and I think that the systems of record and the systems of engagement are kind of coming together. But I guess I'll go back to my memorable customer moments. Those are the things that I think really turn the dial.
Thank you. Jeff?
Yeah, this is an area that my team is putting some extra energy into right now to try to understand how do we better measure engagement in a way that matters to the audience, to the customer. I think we, like others, there's these sort of surface level metrics that we rely on because they're easy to get, measuring monthly activity, right, or time spent in app, right. So they're not irrelevant, but they don't really get to the heart of why our customers doing business with us. So really trying to understand and find the metrics that align to their interest, to why they're doing business with us. This is an area that's it's challenging, but trying to find the signals in the way they use our tools that show that they're actually getting more productive would be an example of that. Right. So and fortunately there are advanced analytics techniques, as long as you have the data, that allow you to sort of find those patterns, right? So we're increasingly trying to use these methods to go beyond what I think are increasingly becoming more vanity metrics that don't really help you understand how well you're doing. I think it's going to be important for all of us.
Which is hard to do in an organization of your size
It is.
and your legacy, which is challenging. So we commend you for that. And so finally, let's take it home, Tracy. Value at Hakkasan beyond the personal concierge. How do you guys evaluate that?
It's really loyalty at the end of the day for us. If we are building the right relationships on a very personal level with our customer, that then just drives loyalty.
Great. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We're going to say goodbye and thank our panelists for a great, great moment. Thank you.
Thank you.